But to us, when you add it into a game, it adds depth where you're like, that place exists. We can't get over there because look at the depth in between us and
There's a
that
lot
drop
of
off.
shit. There's a lot of shit over there, but do what you gotta do.
But is it any more different than when you look at that in a book? You look at that
Yeah,
cityscape in a book
or
or
a
in a comic
movie.
or a movie, and you wouldn't not believe for a second that over there is a city. Beyond those mountains is a world. I can't get to it, but sure as shit, it's real.
Yeah,
That's what's so beautiful about games is that they use everything.
I love the way
Alive,
that they
art,
set, how
interpretive
they.
art, sound design.
I like how you really feel like you're on Earth here, and like, look at that. Look at, or like, you're right next to Earth. Fuck, I should have put our
Texture.
game. I should have put our game on private. Now watch, these guys are gonna come in. They're just gonna bullet jump everywhere.
Yeah, watch them. Watch. Where are they?
They should be spawning
Wait
in
for it.
now.
The moment they get here, they're just gonna be like, "I'm on my way back."
They're gonna be like, pew, pew, like fucking Sonic.
Moving news. Look at the my. Yeah, fuck them. Ah.
Yep. Yep. Jump it away. Jump it away. Damn, he's going fast. Just running.
I'm special.
It's like it's like you just go in there and you're just like, oh fuck the scenery, fuck the scenery. I mean, I don't know, I like the scenery, but
I love the scenery.
cause like when we just came in here, cause we waited that 3 extra seconds, we watched that whole entire mountain just fall.
Saw the cliff face collapse into the chasm next to you. It could have been thousands of years till that moment that the cliff finally collapses, but you saw it. Again, people could say it's scripted, people could say that it doesn't matter, but again, is that any more different than in a book when you know for sure that the next page contains your favorite
Something
character
of
dying?
action.
It's still, yeah, it's like, it's just sitting there on a page, and until you turn it, all it is words. But when you give it that context, that moment of like immersion where it matters to you and you're actually willing to give yourself that suspension of disbelief that like that cliff edge just collapsed and this is an ancient ruin that hasn't been visited in years.
And then like you get all this broken shit, and it's like this is what the fucking the void was based off of.
All this is now is a dead, like, this used to be a link in a great and powerful civilization. The Orkin were all over Earth. I mean, you play the game long enough, you notice there are ruins everywhere. You notice them under the ocean on Earth. You notice them in the deserts on Mars. You notice them in the weird frost, like iced over glaciers and tundras in Fortuna. They're like, they were all over, man. They ran this motherfucker.
Yeah.
And now all it is we're having a gunfight in someone's dead dream.
Yeah. Like
We're just like, yeah, dude, boom, 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 boom.
yeah, what playing paintball.
It's like we're just like playing, and like this used to be something that mattered. Like it's dead now. It's gone. It's never coming back.
Like everything. I mean, I don't know. It looks sexy as hell though. Like, and it's crazy
But can
too
you
because it's
imagine how
like
it looked when it worked?
when you slow
It
it
looks
down,
sexy
it's
now.
like when you slow it down, the art just changes, and it's like everything actually has meaning. It's not just like when you're
Yeah,
playing
just try to
Grand
think
Theft.
of what this place was when it was alive. And there was feet bustling through these halls.
Like there's
and
people right here. This could have been like the food table right here. You know, like in like little
like in a
entree
buffet.
tables. Like
Yeah.
we're just getting food. Then they'd maybe go over here and eat somewhere. Like they'd go up to like this room over here. And then this was like a dining hall where like people of war, they're like for the military to eat. What's over here? That'd be fucking like it's almost like that'd be cool as fuck if you could live, if it's like you could experience people living in here, you know? But no, instead it's just you run around and you
And I
see
think If you were immortal, there was probably some shit like this at one time.
Yeah, like this would be like a dining room, you know?
And just think about how, like, even in their
Big
lifetime, even
ass.
in the Tenno are here, and the this has been ages since this place has been alive and it mattered. And they're still in the aftermath of it. We're in a world where even if stuff like this ever existed, it would have faded long ago, and it would be as if it was only ever just an idea or a concept in a little funny game.
Yeah.
And it would not even register to you that we've been so much more advanced than what we are. And people are like, no, man, we
Like
got
there's just
smartphones, we
rubble.
got VR, we
Like
got
like we're
Teslas.
going in a collapsing.
You know, future, bro.
Like, look, it's collapsing right now as we speak over here. Like, I would never notice this if I was just, like, running like fucking crazy. Like, if you slow things down, it brings a sense of scale and perspective. Like, this is a
That's
giant.
what's missing from this art form. That's what makes it so. When you get a sense of scale, it adds something to a game, to an experience that you're like, wow. Like you stand back in awe, and you genuinely are. You're not like the game isn't telling you like you should be amazed, player. You're genuinely like, wow. Like this was a journey. This is like was here before I set foot in it, and it was built by people that existed long before me, and I can believe in it, and it's a tangible place, and I can scratch against it, and I can dent it, and I can break it, and it can be left behind by time, and at once it was maintained enough to where time couldn't touch it.
Yeah. And then we walk through here, and it's like, there's
Like there's,
rubble.
yeah, these guys are, we're shooting the guys who are looting this ancient place that's more greater than anything they could ever do. Because all the corpus are good for is taking other people's ideas and saying that they did it themselves.
Yeah.
Why they run the fucking origin system.
Goddamn Corpus, man. It's fucking Corpus.
Careful, Ben,
But
you don't want to
like,
be labeled as anti-corpus.
yeah. Gotta, gotta keep the. Oh,
Want your kids
that's.
to go to a nice Corpus College on Fortuna, don't you?
Oh yeah, they
Post
have these
corpusum.
little lunar. Look, come over here.
Habeas corpus.
Look at this. This is like a plant on the moon. This would be like the plants. Little lunar pictures.
The kind of game I would make is an indie game where you would just hanging out as a teenager in like a futuristic society, like a futuristic society before it fell. You know what I mean? Like how you always
Yeah, like like you
you're
get
always
to
the guy.
live in the how like you get to live in one of these areas.
Yeah. I mean, you throw down a remote observer right now and you just walk away from it and you get a sense of like, you're always going to be the thing walking through the you're the little nothing walking through the gigantic ruins of an ancient great civilization. And all you can ever do is wonder like, what was this place like when it was alive? I bet you it
Yeah.
was something. We never get to play that game where like you get to like the equivalent of a Grand Theft Auto game, but you're in Tenochtitlan or uh, you're in the great Mongol cities, or you're in the ancient Sumeria, or you're in Atlantis. But it's like a level of a game like Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. Like you could live like
But it's like the
like what
ancient
like
world. It's
this
like
was like
pre-mud
some
flood stuff.
this is like some royal palace hallway type shit.
Oh
You
yeah,
could
there's
just
no way you or what me or you were ever gonna walk in a pool. Like that's the thing too. Even if this stuff was real, even if Elon Musk and the Zuck and fucking Jack Dorsey and Google and Wajiki and everybody else that owns a big slice of this pie digitally and data wise, because that's the real money and that's the real currency nowadays. You get the data, you get the art. We would never, even if this place was real and they built it on the moon, we would never set foot there. You just see TikTok videos of them like dancing in it, and you'd be like, "Oh, dude, they're so cool. I'm so." And they're just like, "What? I'm rich. I'm rich. I'm
yeah.
I'm rich."
But like it's crazy when you do the scale. Like look how big this Warframe looks compared to your Tenno to this stairs. Like this looks like it's meant for it, but the Tenno.
This looks like some space jockey type stuff from Prometheus or Alien. Whenever you look at the progenitor race in that story, where they're way bigger than us, but they also wear suits that make them look that way. But yeah, look at the architecture for. I mean, dude, there's places in here you can see. I don't know if you've ever been to these rooms on Lua, but how this place is always procedurally generated.
Yeah.
There's places in here where you can actually see Orokin or the souls of like cephalons that are like moving around. They look like blue, like silhouettes of people, but they're like blue void light, and they're moving things from room to room, and they like do their work. You just gotta look around for them.
Hey, little tip. Do you have a scanner on you?
Yeah.
Equip a scanner with your Tenno, then walk. Cause look how I'm walking. It's such a little thing, but this shit is cool.
Yeah, you used to be able to walk like this before you got your moat. And then you went into like combat stance. I missed that. I liked walking like that. Like I said, anytime a game allows me to walk.
It's a plus. This game kind of has walking, but it doesn't really work. It's like a combat stance type of thing. Wait, hold up. What if I do that with... what if I do that with, Codex? Oh, yeah, no. You can do that with your Warframe, too. Equip a scanner, then walk with your Warframe.
The only thing is, in an episode of this format, anybody's listening as far as what we'll... Does it make sense for people that would not watch the gameplay?
What do you mean?
Or are they just going to hear us talking about a bunch of stuff that they cannot see?
Well, they can see it.
But if they're not watching it, if they're listening to it like a podcast...
Well, then... Fuck.
We should talk about some fucking werewolves or some shit!
Like, I don't know what to talk about. Like,
werewolves start coming through the void,
this
right?
thing, like, this is probably some power generator over here that used to power this whole base.
Werewolves versus Tenno versus Orokin, game of the generation.
Yeah.
Just have werewolves.
You like werewolves?
I fucking love werewolves, man. There's not enough werewolf stuff. There needs to be more werewolf movies, games, books. There really hasn't been a thing yet that puts werewolves on the map and makes people understand. Like, this give it to do that ghosts have, that vampires have, that the fucking Swamp Thing has. Werewolves! It's all about the things that nobody can truly pull off in movies or books or games anymore because that doesn't sell. It's not interesting. It's not creepy. It's not... I mean... Nobody cares. It goes back to that. They just want... Like, the werewolf game you can get is a Battle Royale game, I'm pretty sure.
Wait, did someone finish this?
Don't even think?
Yeah.
What about... Why do we even... like, wonder what is scary? I mean, we live in a pretty scary world. Like, everything that is happening and everything that will continue to happen. Like you said, that social distancing going till 2022. It's like, yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. I was thinking 2021 at least, but no, that's not far off the mark. People don't really get it until they will. Everything will continue on the way it is, and we'll just go about our lives. So that's why we could talk about something like if you ever saw a werewolf or if aliens are real. Like, can you imagine if aliens were real and you did get abducted? You were just walking alone one night, you were out depressed in the woods, you were like, what's on this guy? Ah!
You just get like, abducted?
End up in yeah, and then you end up in some place like this, and you're conscripted into some ancient faction war between fucking forebearer race and a hyper-powered imperialistic military force, and then basically the corpus. It'd be as real as, it wouldn't be a fantasy anymore. It wouldn't be a game anymore. It'd be as real as like, well, you probably are gonna die if you don't take this fucking seriously. So it doesn't matter if you
Yeah.
don't want to be. Get down! Take cover! Or the void energy! Forget we need to meet the main reactor. Alright, troops. I don't want to hear guff. Get in there and die!
Yeah.
And everyone would. 'Cause in the
Die
end,
like famine.
that's all you got. You're either
This
gonna...
looks like some old war table. Like they used water. They figured out a way to project things through water. They're like, okay,
Oh
man,
yeah, like...
right here, we're gonna attack them. And on the front lines, we need 10. You know, like they
I
got
see the
them.
pieces, they keep exploding. Why are we standing on the war board? Why are women in the war room? Oh, great. Oh, they're dancing. Sexy time.
Women in the war.
Some want to have that where it's like, you want to be in the war room, you want rights, you want everything else. What's so scary about the world that we live in is that it's all coming to that. They're going to have more rights than you. You will be eventually made to lay down and just take it or shut up and be canceled. And nobody even is going to bleed or die for this. Nobody's going to actually accept the fact that you have to sacrifice for what you don't have. They don't want to. They just want to be equal. Everybody wants to be equal without realizing that if you want to be equal, just be equal. That's the scariest part, is to realize that it's pretty damn hard. And for those that want to do it, they can. And for those that can't, I mean, I'm not even one that can. I still go about my life. I'm not rich. I'm not successful or special in any way. I don't know why the fuck people would want to listen to us open our goddamn mouths. But I still go on. And I still continue to do, because nobody can stop you.
Well, I mean,
other
what
than
if
you.
some?
I mean, the only thing that sets you off on the matter is your own opinion.
Well, I mean,
Or
what
Marcus
would you be like as open? Would you still be as open to talk about shit if like you lived in a country where you were being oppressed on? Well, like I mean, like fully oppressed on what you were saying. Like you will die. And it's not like they'll try and hide you through any algorithms, like they'll just kill you. Would you still talk about that kind of stuff?
You know, that's the thing that gets down to the real fear. Are you a big man, or are you just a big man behind a screen?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I wonder that sometimes. I'm just like
fucking like, why'd you say that to my face, buddy? Whoa, you're too close. Get away, get.
yeah. I don't know, it's like...
They're not. They'll kill you. They'll fucking black bag you and your entire family. If you try to resist, you are the enemy. If you think you're not already compromised in some ways from the habits and behaviors that you pick up for this day-to-day life of ours, you probably are. I'm talking to myself. Like, if we think that we're going to come out in the end like the resistance, like the triumphant underdogs, it's not going to happen that way. It never does. Not for people like us. Might as well enjoy the ride. Fucking dance on the warboard.
Like, what do you think this room was? Like, I know this is like a challenge room, but like, what do you think this realistically was? Like a
lot of it looks like some sort of mechanism for keeping time.
You know, I kind of thought it was. So you know those big ass pianos?
Oh, you mean like an organ?
Yeah. Like you get right
Yeah, like
here.
Phantom of the Opera. We just need capes now. I've already got the mask. I'm gonna go hide up there, and you're gonna fall in love with me. Boom. Alright. Action! Fuck, I fell. God.
Dun, 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 dun.
He's looking at you, kid.
And then this is like the generator to
Longer.
power it right here.
And, have you ever even experienced anything that you could say, like, that scared the hell out of me? That was, like, something that you
I
can't
mean,
explain. Something that leads you to believe that stuff out here, like, there could be out there somewhere two characters much like what we have here, just standing next
I
to each
went.
other, like, hey, you think there's people out there that don't look like us?
I mean, I guess I don't know. There was one time where I went to the
I think
woods.
everybody thinks that in a way. It's almost
Once
a
I
cliche
walked,
thought to think that you're deep for
once I
thinking that.
well no, like once I walked through the woods, and like, and this thing, and like
So I was walking through the woods. I got my dick sucked by a bear.
no, there's this thing, and it just chased me, and it was like. It looked
That's
like
funny.
something out of like a simulation, like I was breaking the simulation or something, so it went
What
to
was it?
like
Like, if you had to describe it, what happened? Like, did it come out of nowhere?
it
Did it
was all
cloak?
it
Did it
was blue,
phase?
and I saw it in the distance. Now this is also I was on shrooms, mind you.
Well, that will do it.
Yeah.
These things in your mind's eye. I saw when when I was out in the woods with Haas. Everything was so. It was like my 17th birthday, ages ago, and we were out in the woods. It was like around because we took him out. Like we drank the tea at like 6 in the afternoon, and it lasted till probably like 7 o'clock in the morning. And at one point, we realized we were in the pitch black darkness, and we were walking around, and you could see everything. Like there were cacti around us, and there was a cliff near us, and like you could put your face and your hand right next to the cactus in pitch black, and like, the shrooms would accentuate the features on plants and obstacles around you, like in the pitch black. It was almost like if you imagined a primitive, like hunter-gathering society walking along the plains and then picking up those shrooms and eating them, and then all of a sudden they fall asleep and you're stirred awake. You're like, huh. And then you just go walking along the field at night away from the campsite, and then you realize you have fucking night vision, and then you start using those to hunt at night. Like, I wouldn't put it past to like see these things that some people sometime out there probably just picked them up and ate them on accident because they were hungry.
The craziest thing that ever happened to me on shrooms that I would have to say was once I was just walking down a road, and I kept moving left to right because I was really fucked up, like off other shit too. And basically what happened was when I was fucked up, so like, alright, I'm gonna simulate this right now. So like, I was walking, and then I would start to move left, and it would be red. Everything would just look red, and then I started to stumble right, and everything would turn blue, and then I go back, and everything would be red, then blue. That was kind of crazy. And then I turned around.
Color spectrum you see a lot of that on.
Yeah, and then I turned around.
You see the green, the reds, the blues.
And then I turned around, and I just saw a light in the distance, and it was my friend. But I thought it was like God for a second. I was like, what the fuck?
Blinded by the light. That song, I think, is about shrooms.
Probably.
Is that if you've never read the lyrics or listened to that? I mean, in a lot of ways, they're like it's just to write a lyrical song that goes. It means to be in. It's not iambic pentameter, but it's like that. It's like meant to hit every note of the music. So when he's like I don't know if you've heard that song, like "Blinded by the Light" or like the lyrics of it, but it's meant to flow with the music. I think they wrote it on psychedelics, and they told people that no, it's just meant to sound musical. It's meant to line up with the notes. It's like, dude, you're talking about like
some psychedelic shit.
Go-kart Mozart in your backyard, and there's like there's a fucking teenage mister with a dinosaur. Like, what the hell is a teenage mister? Like, I'm thinking that everybody that doesn't understand that most of the stuff you like and video games and books
are
and music,
done through psychedelics. Are psychedelic inspired.
Psychedelics and people that are doing things that it's like they'll make you truly look around at the world like, whoa, I act like this isn't crazy, but this is nuts. Like,
yeah, and didn't you say that the Naughty Dog producer went to do a shaman trip when your dad met him?
We're gonna get to the cabin, Ben. and we're going to see that there's no captain there, and then you can't even tell the rest of the generation ship. Like, you go back, because once you figure out that the dam in the brook outside of your town is an entrance to the generation ship, and your little North Carolina enclave becomes like this hub inside of this gigantic, like, it'd be like if you were in Grand Theft Auto and you found a secret hole in the mountains that you're like, oh my god, we're on a space. Like, you couldn't then go back home to your mom like, Mom, oh my god. Like, they'd put you in a straitjacket and they'd like take you away like, we got a 5250 and he's not right. He's gonna hurt himself. He's gonna hurt his butt.
Yeah, it's like there is no, because you could just say, oh, you're crazy. That's bullshit.
It's like the strange accounts, man, of the Mary, the children in Italy. They found her, like, I think it was either at about like 1950 or around that era sometime, and these children found this thing in a field. It just appeared to them. It was as if it was like they were in Italy, I think, and there was just this light, this phenomena that appeared out of nowhere in midday, like out of the ether, out of the pure air, and they said that it was Mary Magdalene, and that these
is
children.
Mary Magdalene?
Mary Magdalene is the Virgin Mary. Mary is the one that Immaculate Conception, one in the Bible that has baby Jesus without having sex. Like, that's why they call it Immaculate Conception. That's why it is the Virgin Mary. That's why there's the whole thing with, like, even if the Bible is real allegorically and it is a basic instructions before leaving Earth type of thing, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. People got to have faith. It's all atheists want to be evangelical about the fact that there's no God. You're just as much of an annoying spurg as evangelical religious people. It goes from, have you heard the good news, son, to, hey, have you heard the news, faggot? You don't matter.
So,
most people can get fucked just as well with Mary Magdalene, because they see this thing, and I'm trying to find it, but, like, there's so much stuff on the internet. Mary Magdalene.
But, like, just, like, as something to prove how, like, I guess in a, like the things that, there are things to be scared of, and it's, like, I feel like one of them, I'm scared of, of not knowing the truth, and just knowing, like, that, like, almost nothing is real.
Well, you might as well strap in for that, because you're never going to know. I mean, if you think that your life is ever going to be any different from the one that you wake up in, and you're aware of the one right now, and only right now, how are you going to know? Because you don't know. You only know this. You're only here. All the other worlds outside of Warframe that are going on right now, Link is running for his fucking life from some giant goblin that he just woke up in the forest of Hyrule. The people in Apex Legends are fighting each other in an endless skirmish between man and machine, or whatever's going on in that game. People in Command and Conquer and StarCraft are fighting from the 30,000 foot view of the elites and the people that guide the wars to put you on the battlefield, boots on the ground more. You get in there and die for them, and it's like, well, we got 30,000 guys dying in the mountains, we got 40,000 guys dying in the ocean, we got 50,000 guys dying in the sky.
They just see it as a number.
Victory, my man.
Well, if you think about it, like,
Victory Royale. Fuck you,
that's fucking crazy to think about how sadistic that is, but that is true.
And all those people are ever going to know is that perspective.
Because when you play games like that, where you play as the perspective of some elite in the air, sky box view, that is crazy, because if you think about it, you know, that is crazy psychotic, because it's like, you just see those people as a number. You don't actually...
It's like the difference between the people that want to be phone operators at a strip mall in Kansas or Miami, and they blow up people in the Middle East from the comfort of American soil, and then the people that want to get over there and be boots on the ground and fucking point that enemy, and hopefully you don't get into a CQC or a friendly fire situation in a hovel or some little village, or you end up defending child rapists or guarding opium dens, which is a lot of that with, like, victory, hoorah! What victory? What did we win? When it ultimately ends up being taxpayers' dollars to become a corporate hitman. But it really does speak a lot to gamers in the type of, because we're talking about games here. What'd you think I was talking about, you fascist? When you think of PC gamers and console gamers, it's representative of what we are. Like, console gamers are just like the guys that are like, just give me the gun, man. I want to run up to that alien and be like, what? Not on my country. Huh! And just fucking like punch him in the face or like shoot him, and you're just the guy behind the gun, behind the scope, and your boots on the ground, and that's all you're ever going to know, and that's all you need to know, and that's all you want to know. And you are in your element. And the guy directing you from the 50,000, 30,000, 100,000 foot view up into space, like, yeah, we gotta, direct them into the mountains. We're gonna need units, supplies dropped. Yeah, they just took out the whole platoon. Move it over to Sector 6. I'm gonna need visual. Yeah, it's coffee.
Yeah, it's like
Console gamers we are the ones that just want the experience, a lot of us, of like, boom, hoop, fucking shoot, bang, explosions. I'm in the fast car. I'm driving down the fucking road. I am the man. I am in the point of view, in the driver's seat, in the cockpit, behind the reticle.
So I have a question. What would you think of a GTA game? Even though I know it would never work, what would you think of a GTA game where you are not the, where you basically live in this world as
like The Sims, but you have to live amongst these psychopaths.
Yeah, you have to live in the world as Trevor and Franklin. You get to live as like one of the NPCs and shit. Going like, what would you think about that? As you see on the news and shit, like, oh, car blown up.
It's just like, Jesus Christ, why isn't the government keeping us safe? People are getting run over in the streets. There's madmen running around stabbing people. My God.
Like, what would you... I mean, it would never work, though, because people would never play that. People would never play that because nobody immerses themselves. They just want to play the game and fuck around.
No, yeah. People would just be... You would just be Trevor. You would just be a weaker version. You'd just be like, can I still punch people? It's like, yeah, but you're just Joe Average. So if you punch that guy, you're going to go to jail. I can get arrested in this game, too. I'm punching.
I'm done. No. Well, I don't know, bro. That was one thing.
And you get arrested, and you're like, oh wait, every time I turn on the game now, I'm in a box.
Well, no, like that was one thing I wish they did in Grand Theft Auto. Is like, imagine if you like this. This pissed me off too that they didn't have this. But imagine if there was a jailbreak part of the game where you're in jail, and in the game, you know what I mean? Like you're in jail and you could immerse yourself in there.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it's like, you could be like, hey, Pablo, or some shit.
Mafia 2 has a great bit where you go away for a few years after you take a dive for a job gone awry, and you have a really great bit of, like, going through the hierarchy in prison and joining up the ranks and getting into the underground fighting circuits and meeting a boss and doing some favors and try to fight off rapists and, like, this very, like, 1950s, like, a very, like, Folsom Prison type vibe to that whole level. It was very... Mafia 2 is one of the most brilliant setups for a game because it uses the trappings of an open world game disguised, or uses the trappings of an open world game, which is a linear story narrative game disguised as sandbox.
Here, Mike's lagging. Hello? Your mic's lagging. Hello? Well, technical difficulties, I guess. Fuck. How are y'all days going? Y'all quarantine going well? I hope so. So we gonna be quarantined for a while. Where the hell did he go? What the fuck? But, I wish games would just be better, man, to be honest with you. This is very awkward. I don't really know what to talk about right now, because I kind of forgot what we were going for, and fuck. Okay, well, I guess that's the ending of this episode. We had to cut it a little bit short. I guess some shit happened on his end.
Can I fucking...
Oh, oh yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Alright, yeah. And if they heard that,
I
that
was about, I was about
to
to.
be like, it's falling away into dead air. Do something, Ben.
I didn't know. I didn't know what to say, man. Fuck. Like, cause it just cut out of nowhere. That was just awkward.
What's scary is that, what was that? Was that the algorithm or was that technical difficulties?
Yeah, like we were just
like,
about to get into some shit. Shut him down, boys. Shut him down. I thought we were. I just said too, cause I saw you leave the party. I was like, oh shit. I guess this is the end. I guess this is not the end.
Yeah, we are genuine podcast. Don't affiliate any of this, but you hear a lot of stuff. Woo!
I guess this is not the.
In there. Come out with your hands up. We got your wife.
Oh man.
I'm not married. I don't know who that is. I'm gonna. Oh shit.
That was them trying to shut us down.
Shut it down.
Shut them down. Speaking about shut down, our episode 13 is getting censored, and I'm not really enjoying that.
Holler, we're getting some progress. Gonna be on the lists. Gonna be making the names.
No, like, what is up with fucking... So, for any of you guys that don't know, because fuck it, I guess we're gonna keep going.
You keep going, man. Keep going, spitting in their fucking faces, because you know what? You let your whole existence be such a goddamn rebellion that they'll have to kill you to shut you up.
No, literally, episode 13 is so bullshit, man. Fucking... That was a good episode. And when we go check it out, it doesn't even show up on our YouTube page. So I put it in a playlist. There's now a playlist for any of you guys that want to watch any episodes.
The Founding Fathers said, man, for posterity, death, porn, and video games.
No, there's now a playlist for any of you guys that want to watch videos. So you can just watch through every single episode in order.
Yeah, you can watch them if you want.
I'm not gonna lie. Episode 1, if I were you guys, skip. It's a good episode, but the audio is very terrible because...
If you don't mind shit audio, go ahead and listen to it. It's got good content. But yeah, if you like audio, if you're a typical modern millennial, or if you're a zoomer, you're going to hate the audio. You're going to want to do things to the audio that you want to do to a squeaker or someone that will not use the character you want them to use in Fortnite or whatever.
Yeah, that episode was kind of bad because it was just people joining, and there was just people joining and fucking like just ear raping. I think someone joined in like the middle of that and just ear raped.
Porn and screaming here on Genuine Podcast, folks. You can't get any better.
Oh yeah, one of our episodes, apparently someone was playing porn in it. I don't know. I hope not.
As if this fucking episode is just us sitting here trying to get back on track after the fucking thing. We're just like, wait, we're not on air? We're not recording anymore?
No.
Son of a bitch!
No, but...
you know, we put that image of the...
But I'm trying to be as genuine as possible with like, or as clear as possible with like people that may watch us that don't know us.
Is that people don't even understand
because there are some people. Because
go
there
through
definitely
and
are
say
some
what the topic
people that I didn't tell this shit about that watch us because I see them, and like I think we have a bot, Tom. I don't know.
is. Hey, Tom.
Hey, what's up, Tom?
Hello, boys.
What's up, Tom? But
I don't know why he sounds like Jabberjaw.
like, I don't know.
Hello.
Like, I guess this is kind of a good time to talk about it because we already I lost just
Yeah, that'd be
everything that we
more
talked about.
Snagglepuss.
But
Yeah,
like,
man. Alone after dark, losing your track of thought, and then it's like you're running through the woods, and from behind you, there goes the idea, the topic for the podcast. It's like, catch it, Ben, you're going to die!
yeah, but I might as well make this. Might just put a little segment on just because all that
Out of the
technical
dark.
difficult shit.
Tackles
Yeah.
you to the ground, and you realize, I have nothing to say, I'm losing it, trying to stop from dead air, dead air, dead air. Everyone's still listening at this point. This is fucking madness. Millions of comments of people that are probably just like, kill yourself, yo, why am I listening to this? Why am I listening to some guy just talking in my ear? Can you do any better? Can I do any better? Can we do any better? Tune in, hopefully in about 10 seconds to find out, because I'm throwing Ben everything I can here. Like I'm just constantly like picking shit up, just like, catch one of them, god damn it!
No, like I'm just saying, like we should talk about, like, alright, so leave this in the comments if you watch this far, please. But tell us if you want us to do live comments where we read your comments and questions for us, because I'm very curious, because that's actually something I've been thinking of, like you can ask us questions, how it's like we can interact with you guys
Yeah,
without
ladies, let us know
you
how
guys
sweaty
being
we
in the
are. Let
party.
us know what kind of incels we are. Oh my god, you said that about...
No, like, yeah, no, but I want that because that'd be interesting. Just let us know if you guys want that. If not, then we're not gonna do that. We might try it, but
And are we gonna do anything on this episode? This is the tricky thing when it's like, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, it works and it doesn't, because we're in the game moving around and it works for the people that are going to watch that, but most people are probably, if they even listen to this, they're going to use it as podcast. I mean, it's in the
well,
fucking name.
that's why one day I want to get our shit onto Spotify.
Yeah,
Spotify,
Sahu.
if you're here, let us in.
They're not
Pay
going to let us
us.
in, we suck. People are like,
Pay
I've been
us.
listening for fucking 40 minutes and you guys haven't touched on a single thing.
Well, yeah, but if we go into Spotify, we're probably gonna do edited and on live. I don't know. Maybe live is where our is where
Maybe
we're
sticking to
good
talking
at.
about it philosophically and interactive entertainment is what we're good at, because we try to tread on other grounds of other podcasts, and then you're like, I am not George Norrie. I'm not Art Bell. This
I
ain't
know, but if we did that live over like recorded and edited, what one would you think would turn out better?
Yeah, no. I'm still waiting for this one to turn out there. We're in the fucking middle of it. I could feel this one dying a moment ago, and I'm like, wait, oh my god, what's happening? And then you're just like, all right,
Oh
genuine,
man,
genuine.
genuine.
This is the
Hey.
fucking worst goddamn episode we fucking we haven't said shit, we're just talking.
Maybe it'll be the best
Thanks
one.
for
Who
tuning in
knows?
live, folks. The first train wreck on a Genuine Podcast.
Because we're
Can't find a
genuine.
goddamn article about fucking Mary Magdalene.
We go from genuine podcast to genuine train wrecks. Oh man.
Genuinely egg-faced here on the Genuine Podcast, folks. A moment of silence and solitude goes over the group as we
I
realize
mean,
that we may not
I'm
be as
with.
interesting as we thought.
I say,
Like this story, I can't find it.
hey,
I'm with it.
hey, you
We
just
still
want
turn this
to.
around. It's like we're at full tilt at this point. The plane is diving, and we're like, pull up, man! Pull up!
Oh
Anybody's
man.
watching us, I doubt it. Fuck this one. We're gonna go live.
Oh man. What I say we do is we just make this episode short.
Yeah, fuck this episode.
Fuck this episode. Alright, guys, this is the end of. That was the. I'll just. Because that would be a good intro, outro for everything I just said. I was like, alright, we're gonna do this one a little bit short, okay? My bad. But we'll have more episodes coming out soon. It's just.
Do watch
We.
our show, everybody. I swear to God, we are not this bad.
Alright, guys. Alright, thank you for anyone that watches. This is Genuine Podcast, and we are genuinely train wrecks. Fuck. They just shut us down, boys. They just shut us down. Oh, man. Hey, you there? Oh, damn it, they're shutting us down again. You there? They're shutting us down again. Where you at? Quick, say your outro. Okay, I'm just about to end this. Alright, thank you guys for anyone that tuned in.